Hey, Arcturus here. Today we're looking at the Grey Hunters for the Space Wolves from Games Workshop. These are a new model kit that released in 2025 and builds a set of 10 Grey Hunters. These are sort of the equivalent of intercessors or assault intercessors for the Space Wolves faction. They are basically an upgrade to the Blood Claws. But because they are an upgrade to the Blood Claws, you can only take them in units of 10, versus the Blood Claws being able to be taken in units of 10 or 20. They do make some very nice models. Much like the Blood Claw kit, they do share legs and torsos between some of the models, so you really only get 5 different poses from the legs and torsos for a kit of 10, as opposed to... But they aren't like the old kits where they were monopose, so I guess some things. The main difference, of course, much like the Blood Claws, comes from the arms. So here you can see the legs and torso are the same symbol and everything, but 2 different gun arms and 2 different chainswords. So some of these poses I didn't quite like. I don't know if maybe I picked the wrong arm, but this one on the right, I don't quite like how that left arm sits. I much prefer the one on the left, but you can you only have so many options for these. I did also try not to match helmets. So for instance, this helmet on the right and left are 2 different helmets. You can see one of them has that gem there. It helps kind of distinguish them. The helmets honestly isn't the biggest deal unless you're, especially on the tabletop, because, well, those details aren't quite as obvious when they're 3 feet away from you. So they do come with some beaky helmets as well, so you can see here on the right. And then they come with this nice one with a rune on it. I think I also use that for the Sergeant. These I added some additional accessories too, so these are also able to come with a... So these units on the tabletop also come with a pistol, so I added most of these with the pistol as well to the carbine that they carry on the same, which is basically just a bolt rifle. Look like some of them, like these, look like 2 different models, although I think I used the same head on these, but I think the posing looks really well. I actually really like this one on the right and the one on the left. They do come with this back attachment for a chainsword if you take them with the 2-handed bolt rifle, which I thought worked pretty well. And some of them do have these nice little side attachments that are already on the model. Like here on the leg, we have that little fang attachment sticking off, which I think helps distinguish them from the Blood Claws by giving them a little extra detail, because they're supposed to be more veteran troops than the Blood Claws being more like the initiates. Some of them, like this one on the right, I think is a pretty standard Space Marine pose, and I think it looks pretty good with the Space Wolf additions. Some of these additions I had a little difficulty attaching, but for the most part, you might be able to see the shininess there on the one on the left for the glue. But I definitely like the posing on these a lot. I think they're pretty cool looking. I will admit that when I first saw them, I thought they were the same kit as the Blood Claws, and you had the option to decide which one you built, and then which ones you gave the accessories to, but that is not the case. They are, in fact, 2 different boxes. And these are basically the same pose. I managed to pick a carbine, which is a little large to be held out that way, in fairness, I think. Even with the scale of these models, it seems a little large of a gun to hold out at that angle. But you can see I also managed to swap around some of the additions there. So this one has the pistol here, but this one does not. He has it on the other side, whereas the other one has a knife. And this nice little backpack piece, whereas this one has the blank. I gave the leader a gem. I thought I gave him a rune. The leader does actually have a different torso, and that's also true on the Blood Claws. You can see those there with the gem instead of the Aquila with a wolf head. I look at these in the Blood Claws as the Space Wolf version of Intercessors, which I think is actually lore-wise correct. We'll take a quick look here. So the main difference is the Grey Hunters. The main difference between the Grey Hunters and the Blood Claws in terms of base stat line is one additional objective control on Grey Hunters versus Blood Claws. So 2 objective control on Blood Claws and 3 on Grey Hunters. The difference in loadout is the Grey Hunters have a Bolt Carbine, which is rapid fire 1, 24-inch range, 2 attacks, ballistic skill 3, strength 4, 0 AP, 1 damage. But they also have the Bolt Pistol with the same profile as the Blood Claws. They both can take a plasma pistol on their leader, which is how I built both their leaders, because I just think it looks cooler. And then they can all take the same Astartes Chainsword with 4 attacks, weapon skill 3, strength 4, AP -1, 1 damage. The difference for the Blood Claws is the leader can only take a power weapon instead of Chainsword, whereas the Grey Hunters can take a power weapon or power fist. I built mine with the power fist. I think it's probably a better addition to have one really strong weapon on there versus the slightly improved strength and AP of the power weapon. The downside is it does get 1 less attack than the power weapon or chainsword. So your power fist comes with 3 attacks versus 4 attacks on the power weapon. Both are weapon skill 3 and AP -2, but the power weapon is strength 5, damage 1, and the power fist is strength 8, damage 2. The other difference between these two squads is the ability they have in the unit composition. The unit composition for Grey Hunters is maximum of 10 in a squad. The unit composition for Blood Claws is 10 to 20. The Blood Claws are able to advance and charge with the Berserk Charge ability, which states this unit is eligible to declare a charge in a turn in which it advanced, versus the Grey Hunters' Cunning Hunters ability, which is each time a model in this unit makes an attack, reroll a wound roll of 1. If the target is within range of an objective marker, you can reroll the wound roll instead. So some slight difference there. I think it actually fits the lore pretty well. The Blood Claws are supposed to be the initiates, young and reckless, whereas the Grey Hunters are the more seasoned troop, and that's kind of shown, and I think that's shown in their loadout and in their ability. Well, that's all I have for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next week with another video.